Welcome to Alex's Smartphone Tutorials. Today we are changing the glass from an iPhone 6s. At first we need to remove the both pentaloop screws on the bottom. I hope you understand my English because normally I'm German and I'm just doing that because a lot of people ask me to translate the video in English also. This is the first iPhone 6s I have in my hand, so sometime it's gonna be a little bit slower. I didn't watch any other videos, but maybe I should have, because here you see is my first problem to remove the display from the housing, from the case. Apple decided to use double-sided band glue, whatever. So I recommend that you heating up the display, and then it's gonna be easier to remove it from the case. This technique what we are using here is just for professionals, so we need a lot of machines to remove the glass and put a new glass and polarizer on it. We are working here with OCA. It's called optical clear adhesive or something like that. We are not using local glue. The iPhone 6 was possible to repair with local glue. It was difficult because the local glue always runs in the backlight, and normally you have to change the backlight also. But I think by the iPhone 6s the local glue method it's not working anymore. I'll show you later why. Because the backlight from this display is a little bit different to the iPhone 6 backlight. So after we remove the display from the case, it's a little bit sticky because I didn't heat it up. As I told you, heat it up with an heat gun or with your LCD separator, then it should go out very easy. So now you can hold the display in a 90° and remove the 1, 2, 3, 4 screws on from the metal plate. iPhone 6s only has 4 screws here. 3 of them are the same and one is a little bit longer, the last one. So after you release the screws, we can remove the metal plate. And under the metal plate we have 3 flex cable we need to remove. The best is you are using a plastic tool, something like that, what I'm using here. And now you can remove the display completely. Okay, let's take a look on the display now. We have 3 screws on the bottom where the home button is located. On the iPhone 6s you need to remove all 3 screws now, because the metal plate is now held by 3 screws, not only by 2 like the iPhone 6 was. So now we need to remove the screws on the side, on both sides. 3 on the left side and 3 on the right side. And I still hope you understand my Bavarian English. So on the other side. On the top side we have now 1 screw more, especially a screw on the side we need to remove. And then 3 screws on the top. Now we can remove the metal plate. The metal plate is now glued a little bit on the display. You see a band or something like that who's going around. It's just glued so you can remove it easily. I do it later because I didn't know it. At the moment I removed the earpiece. So normally we should be able to remove the back cover from the display, but Apple decided to put 2 glues on it. This both we need to remove, and then we can remove the backplate from the display. So this glue is very sticky, just be careful. Don't cut your flex cable from the display. Now I'm removing the plate from the home button so we don't lose it. And now the second glue on the other side. Also very carefully. At the moment the iPhone 6s display are very expensive, so just be extremely carefully. You see, it's horrible to remove those. And it's still hanging there with a little corner. So I'm cutting that now. Okay, now we can see the backlight. It's with some kind of metal. So I still think, and here on the top you see there's a chip or something like that, maybe for the 3D touch. So I think it's gonna be very hard to change the backlight if you work here with local glue. So now I'm removing the plastic ring for the front camera, and here also be very carefully when you're removing the sensors, the flex cable from the front sensor and the front microphone. So now you can remove the front microphone. The best is to come in from the side like I do it here, with a small screwdriver. Then also remove the plastic from the sensor. And now we can remove the metal plate. As I told you, you also can remove the metal plate from the beginning. It's just glued with a band. If you remove it carefully, should be no problem. Okay, now we have to remove the home button. First we need to remove the flex cable, and then carefully remove the home button with his electronic. Then we have to remove the flex cable from the frame, and as always I recommend to be very carefully, because now the flex cable is under these metal plates, and the metal plates, it's obviously not changeable, so don't cut into the cable. I'm still thinking the backlight removal is very hard or not possible. Okay, now we have to remove the plastic frame from the glass. And the best way is you heat the complete display to 80 degrees or something like that, and use a small screwdriver to remove the plastic from the glass. It's gonna be a little bit harder than it was by the iPhone 6. You see, I need to fight with the plastic frame. Apple used a better glue, I think, than it was by the iPhone 6. The best way is you start from the bottom, the left side, then the right side, and then you can remove the frame with the metal stuff on the left, on the end, on the right side. I'm just showing here one side. Okay, and the same you have to do on the other side and on the outsides. So after we remove the frame, we need to put the display on the LCD separator. Heat it up for 3-5 minutes to 80 degrees, and after it heated, you can use a small wire, a moly wire, and remove the display from the glass. You see, it's not easy to separate the display now. That's because I'm between the display and the polarizer, and normally you should come between the glass and the polarizer. It's not a big problem, but now we are scratching on the display with our cutting wire. I prefer normally to come between glass and polarizer, so we can then remove the polarizer easily with a razor blade, a hot razor blade, and so we are don't scratching the display. But now we're doing 2 steps in one and removing also the polarizer now. As I told you, it's not a big problem, but better is to remove the polarizer separately. So carefully back with the wire, and normally the display should come up now. So slowly it's releasing. So here you can see that I cut also the polarizer. Nah, show it. Here. So you can now remove the polarizer easily when you cut it with the wire. The better way is, as I told you, with a razor blade. So now we need to clean up the display. The glue that Apple uses here for the polarizer is not as tough as the glue from the iPhone 6. So it's going to be easier to clean it and faster. You need to take care that the display is 100% clean. So no dust, no whatever should stay on the display, because we are now bringing the new polarizer on after we clean it. Okay, now we are using the laminating machine to bring the new polarizer on it. You have to be very exactly here that the polarizer and in the second step the OCA is perfectly on the display, so that it's not should not be a little bit on the left side or a little bit on the right side. Should be 100% in the right position. Otherwise, you are getting bubbles later. So the last clean for the display. As I told you, no dust should be on it, no streams or whatever it's called. Then we're removing the cover from the polarizer and slowly put the polarizer on the display. So now we are bringing the OCA on the display. Also very or extremely correct. It have to be fit 100%, otherwise you're getting later with laminating bubbles. If you want to start refurbishing displays, you need at least $3,000–4,000 to buy the machines. But if you're calculating at the moment, one display from the iPhone 6s is about $350–400, and to refurbish the iPhone 6s you need about $20–25 for the glass, polarizer, OCA and the frame. So now we are doing a short test if the display is still working after we remove the glass and put the OCA and the polarizer on it. Just be careful with the connectors for the LCD. Yeah, it looks like we did something right, because we got a picture. If you're also testing it like I did, don't be scared. The touchscreen is not working now because we don't have pressed the glass on it. So by the iPhone 6 it was working in this state, but looks like the iPhone 6s needs the glass to work. So I just decided now to wait until the display goes off, and then we can remove the display and put the glass on it. So now we are trying to bringing the glass on it. I was trying to use the mold from the iPhone 6, but as you see, it's not fit perfectly. On the top, the flex cable and the flex cable from the home button on the bottom are not fitting in the mold. So the first what I did is cut the mold, because an iPhone 6s mold I didn't get until now. Maybe in a few weeks we can buy it, but at the moment I didn't found one. So I just decided to cut a little bit in the top from the mold and a little bit on the bottom where the flex cable from the home button came out now. So now it fits perfect, nearly perfect, because the display is a little bit thicker than the iPhone 6 display is. So the glass stands a little bit up. If you're using iPhone 6 mold, you need to put the glass very carefully on it, because it's not getting down enough. Doesn't matter, it's working like this way. So we are now preparing the OCA, and in this step you need to be very fast. Every dust what's in your air and are coming on the OCA, you will see it later, so just be very, very fast and don't move a lot around. So put the glass gently on the display. And now we are putting the glass in the vacuum laminating machine. This machine removes the air and then presses from the top side a heated up metal plate for about 3 minutes on the display, so the OCA I don't know the word. It's gluing on the glass. After this step, if your display is still working, everything is fine. We only need to put the frame on it, and nothing else can happen more. You can test it now, the display, if it's still working. Check if there are some bubbles you can see, but this one is gonna be perfect. 1 out of 10 displays we need to put after the laminating in the bubble removing machine. It's like an autoclave. So here now I'm pressing the frame on the glass with a frame laminating machine. I got a 5-in-1 machine who is separating the glass, frame laminating, polarizer removing. It's a really cool tool. The frame has hot glue on it, and with 180 degrees we are heating up the glass on the top, so the frame is glued on the glass. I hope you understand what I just told you. Okay. So the frame is now on the glass glued, and you can check if the right and the left side, where this metal pieces are, if this gluing perfect, then everything worked fine. And we are coming now to the last step. We're bringing all the stuff back on the display, the front camera, the sensors. Here we need to put the anti-dust mesh in. It's the same like the anti-dust mesh from iPhone 6. So if you have anti-dust mesh from an iPhone 6, you also can use it with an iPhone 6s. Yeah, jump away. Now the plastic ring from the front camera, I'm also gluing it on the glass with a in German it called second glue or seconds glue, so it's gonna be very fast. In a few seconds it's hard, and it fits perfect. Also the plastic tool from the top, from the sensor, I'm also gluing. Now the back cover from the display. The display, I don't know if you saw it, the flex cable from the display comes under the back cover, and the both what I just the both bands comes on the top side from the back cover. So it's very important to put the flex cable under the back cover. Now just put all screws in. I think if somebody comes until now, should be know which screw comes in which hole. So now we are bringing the home button back. Connect the flex cable and the metal plate. Remember, one hole from the metal plate is under the back cover from the display, under the big back cover here. And then we can how is it called? Screws the screws in? No. Maybe you can tell me that in the comments. How is the exactly word for that? So the last step is to bring the front microphone and the sensors back to the display. Yeah, a lot of tiny little things on an iPhone. So the microphone was the first, then the sensors, then the speaker, the earpiece, then the front camera, and now you can bring back the metal plate. Remember to bring the glue band correctly around the display, like I'm doing now. And again we are here, I don't know how to explain. Put the screws in. So looks not bad. So now we can connect the flex cables. Normally you can put other than the metal plate on it and the screws, but I'm first switching the iPhone on to see if it's really working. Sometimes the flex cable, I remember from iPhone 6, the flex cable are not fitting perfect, so the display makes lines or something like that, so that's why I'm switching the iPhone on and watch if we got a picture. So it looks not bad. Now put the metal plate on it. The first screw I put in was the long screw, and the other three are the short screws. So now we are bringing back the display in the frame, in the case. Now you can put the both pentaloop screws in. So, and after that we can test if everything is working. I couldn't test everything because I didn't have the code from the customer, so I just test if we got a picture and the touchscreen move is working. I couldn't test if the 3D touch is also working, but normally it should work. Yes, cleaning, very important for the customer. So, looks like everything is working. I say thank you to watch my English spoken video, and if you have questions, just send me an email or write it here in the context. Thank you, bye bye.